Right, here we are, episode 3 of CHC Podcast. Hughes got him in. So, I'm sure you've all listened to the intro there. That actually is Hughes on the guitar. So, I sent Hughes a message a good few months back, said, thinking of doing a podcast, I don't want to just put a tune over the intro, get something for me. So he came back a day later, one tick.
I think originally we were getting Paul, weren't we?
We were.
Cousin.
We're getting Paul.
And then I just said, no, I'll have a go at this.
Yeah, because I said to you and you said, I'll give Paul a shout, and then you came back and says, I'll give it a go, and then you came back with that. Then I had the video of it. I had the video already done.
Yeah.
That video, and then I just threw your track over it, and I was like, oh, that is nice. I just think that's nice. Yeah, that'll do me. Straight away, we were just talking before we actually recorded there. EHL song.
Yeah.
How many years?
Well, EHL, us going to EHL is 10 in October. The song, we played that song out the back that season, but it wasn't until the new calendar, like March time. Do you remember that we beat North Down for the league? The
league, up at ours, yep.
Yeah. That was after that down here.
Real sunny day, pints were going out there.
Correct. So that was, so what time's the game over? 4? I would say the guys were on it from 4:30.
Oh, aye.
And I think that song was brought out about 10 o'clock at night.
That song, every now and again I'd be driving to work or driving down to the port and I would just hum a wee bit and I'd be like, my goodness, and just keep going. It's always, we got our goal thanks to G. That one gets me every time.
It's funny, it's when I go, obviously I see people in hockey circles all the time. It's the thing people say to me, like, as you know, as much as I thought I did in hockey, and I work for hockey now, if I go down south, they'll say to me, any guitar, Hughes? Like, how do you know I play guitar? Oh, I've seen you on YouTube or something.
It's circulated a lot, like.
So,
I think in the AHL, every bar we were in, it was lit up. That's something I can't wait to get back into the clubhouse. Anytime you're in on the guitar,
each Christmas,
it's a good night. You start on the guitar, it's good crack, and then you see every man.
This is a hockey podcast, isn't it?
Well,
isn't it MTV?
We'll get to the hockey podcast. Right, okay. We'll get that.
I did play, once.
You're known for the music. And it's because you see every man on the guitar. There's one night I've seen Dodge, Johnny Dingley, every man picking it up. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that there. We'll have to get, when the Twos win your Junior Cup next year, we'll get you booked in.
Junior Cup song.
You'll have to get thinking of that.
Do you know the cool thing about that was that generally was made up out the back?
Was it?
Honestly, so 95%. There's the starting line is a film, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John
yeah.
And that was like the start of it. And the funny thing is, I sang it as a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, it's pretty funny. Like, sing that again. The funny thing was, the second time I did it, I'd forgot the words, but boys were going, no, it's that bit now, it's that bit now. It's about G or Maverick, And then Stevie, Stevie Cuddy gets excited. He'd be like, that's lethal. That's better than Monkey Lane. I was like, no, it's not better than Monkey Lane.
No. But you're not taking Monkey Lane.
It's funny,
It's about the boys are writing the lyrics down on beer mats, just trying to remember.
Because there's a bit, I think the video's gone now, but there's a bit like I was trying to do it and mucked up, and Millsy was like, oh, it's this bit here. You're right.
Right, we'll actually get stuck in a bit of hockey here. So we'll get to your one's career as always, but debut for the club. Now, before you talk about your debut, my memories of you, I remember you, Blacko, Philly Morton and Stevie all playing with Les.
Yeah.
I remember I was actually water boy at the time.
There's a picture there somewhere, isn't there, of us?
Yeah, there's a picture of you all up. But I remember carrying all the water bottles across, and it was just all you boys. What was your? That was the fives, was it?
I think that was fives. I went the old school. I went 6s, 5s.
Yeah.
I think I played half of a year for 4s, 3s, and then went 2s, 1s. So I went the old school way. I went all the way up.
Yeah.
I think that team was like Randall the Vandal, Billy Barber, your dad, McWhorter, and then it was just ran by Philly Morton and Blacko then, just in midfield.
Yeah.
That was because now that doesn't really happen now.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. Now it's sort of,
if you're good, you just go straight to a second.
Yeah, or the first. Like I remember,
first.
like Max went to twos for a bit, and then into the ones, and like junior straight to the twos and stuff like that. Like,
they're a different level.
Yeah, like I went down the old school way. But what do you think you gained from doing it that way? She went to some ropey games.
Yeah, like some. You know, the negative part is you probably didn't get to where you should have got as quickly.
Yeah,
but I still wouldn't change it. As I said, it's so unusual now. Maybe in goalkeeping's a bit different. Like,
yeah,
I never complained because I always enjoyed it, and like most of the stuff involved with dad. To be honest, the stories that I remember and the things I saw, you would not see.
No.
But like at the club at the time was Noah Wilson.
Yeah,
who was a good club keeper.
Yeah.
Like he played at least up to Ulster 21s. B Hall was about. He played Irish 21s. Lenny obviously was still about.
Yeah. Roxy might have been about.
Roxy, Smokey me.
Whoa.
So like,
yeah, you're down to the pecking order there, like. And then it's hard for a keeper because once a keeper is cemented in a team, then it's hard to actually change them. Like say mid-season or usually that's it.
And I honestly never complained. I enjoyed it. I probably thought I might maybe be better going up these teams, but I enjoyed it so much. Like the things.
Like you were saying, the things you see. Like I remember Malcolm actually throwing the guy's stick over the car park. There was a bit of a brawl broke out and the stick went over into the car park and all finished and the guy was sitting looking around for the stick, didn't know where it was.
I remember your dad down in Uri. It might have even been a fourth game, but I think it was fives and we won 8-0.
Yeah.
And Fu scored the 8th and celebrated like he'd won a cup final. We were like, all right,
he doesn't get many, he doesn't.
So, albeit I remember that goal, Fu. Your dad just turned around and went, F this, right, fudge this. And he walked over to the sideline and grabbed, this is during the game, the bag of balls, emptied them out on top of my circle and just started taking shots at me. Yeah. Like, probably very disrespectful to our team, but I remember just going, what's going on here? Like,
can you imagine that up at the twos or ones?
I know, and then he just go, right, Hughes, anytime the ball crosses, it's like lay us halfway out. And then in the same game, like Willie Marlin was doing his head in because he was playing at the time.
Yeah.
And this happened a couple of times. It was like a running joke that we would maybe be on the far 75 attacking and we'd just hear, Hughes! And he would turn around and smash the ball at me and I would have to try and kick it back at them. And like, you're going, if you did that, at any level, you just.
And at the time, you were probably going to Ulster 16 trials and Ulster.
I played Irish 16. I was in the 5th 11.
That's unheard of as well.
But as I say, there was better goalkeepers ahead of me. So
yeah, and then better goalkeepers ahead of you. Like we had a good, like you and Lennox came through sort of the same time, and then I think it got to the point where somebody, if they wanted to play at the highest level, had to go. Lennox made that decision.
Well, Lenny, I wasn't really, like Lenny's 2 years older than me. I know that doesn't sound a lot now, but then it was. So the difference between an 18-year-old and 16-year-old is you know. So I wasn't really with it was him and Noel really.
Yeah.
I wasn't really with that. I think maybe Brian Hall maybe stepped away. Yeah. So,
but saying if Lennox had stayed on and became first keeper, do you think you would have had to make that decision then?
Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I've always known that.
Yeah.
It was good for me as to give me the opportunity, but it was bad for me that once I became first keeper, I sort of no one to guide me because Noel was quite good to me, even though he probably knew I was trying to
get him
play his place. Yeah. But like once he left and Lenny was already gone, and I'm not going to say I looked up to Lenny by the way on camera, but like Lenny was older school keeper, so maybe ask him all the time like, "What are you doing here? Why'd you do?" I didn't have that after they left, so as much as them moving on was obviously beneficial for me in the end, it sort of left me with an 18-year-old, right, it's me, and so I'm on my own here, you know. So.
Is that what you were 18 when you were put into the first?
First 18.
My goodness, I didn't know that.
Do you think that's young or old?
I think that's very young. I think now if you look at an 18-year-old, like probably Josh McCabe was probably the same, was he? Or he was...
Josh would have been close.
Yeah.
But you think of like most of the guys, 18 would get a chance. I suppose it's just if you're, again, goalkeeping can be quite different.
Yeah.
You're chucked in, but Noel was still around. I think he played a year for the twos, and then I think he ended up cycling or something. But
right.
But then like after that, you like the amount of keepers we had. Like before we had before my time, it was like Davy Larmer and Graham, and then like even Ali Tom, like he was Irish 21s. Yeah. Like Henry made a couple of Ulster teams.
He was Irish 18s, I think, as well.
Like McCabe now, you know.
Yeah.
We just churn them out for fun.
I don't
know why.
I think it's because all we do is just batter balls at keepers and training us.
How much is rubbish back fours?
So debut for the ones, was it a Achievers Memorial? Was it?
I actually don't know, and I should know. I think I know my competitive debut was a Kirk Cup group stage away to Ban.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a good game, and I think it was actually probably picked on the basis of that game. I couldn't tell you what I did in the Achievers before that, or Budweiser or something. I actually don't remember. If I look back at the
photos,
the thing, I'll work it out from being in 04. But it was way to Banbridge, so like McCandless was starting to flick.
Yeah.
So I remember just having a decent game, and then playing ones, pulling a hamstring at varsities, and I was back out again. And then finished. I think I finished the ones, and that was me till it wasn't. That's a story I'll tell you off camera.
I'll hear about that one. I'm interested in that one. You said about rubbish bag fours. You go the other way. I've talked about last time with Butler.
Yeah,
Butler, right. Blackie, Colley, and Swede. Like surely that gave you confidence with them for ahead of you. Like.
The year. I should have looked it up. I think we conceded 11 goals in a Premier League one year.
Yeah, there's one that was crazy low.
It wasn't down to me because I was still young, and I didn't have a good season at all. But it was a combination of Swede, Godfrey. I think I've got my timeline right. Swede, Godfrey, Keith Black, maybe Black was playing up front. Like Colley, Bestie was about Ewan Butler. Like incredible. Like and no disrespect to it now, but that was the Premier League when. You had to play Garvey twice, Ban twice, Annandale twice.
Oh, the Premier League back then.
Annandale won like 5 weeks
they won crazy.
Insta come off, back-to-back Irish Cups. Yeah. Garvey, you know, you were talking about you get really hard games.
And you're talking...
And then you're away to Mosley and Bangors.
And then more, you talk like Ban went to Kilkeel, I remember a couple of years and lost every time they went away and stuff. Like it was that...
So it wouldn't be, especially in hockey, like when the auto pass rule came in, it would never happen again. Yeah, because hockey's too quick now. It will not happen.
Yeah, we were very good at slow and play, setting up, and our structure was brilliant. But you're talking 18-year-old, you having to roar at them boys to keep them right. I'm sure that was some.
Well, I probably didn't start roaring until Swede finished.
You're probably told to give up.
I probably tried. I helped my best, I think, but like he was great.
Yeah,
he was the voice. And whenever he left, it's like, right, well, I've got to help out here a bit more.
He was the voice. It just, I said to you earlier, like we'll talk about players you had playing against and at training and stuff. Like Swede was one of those players you just loved having in your team, and I hated playing against the training. Yeah. Like you just, who else? Like Barnesy flicking. I'm sure you hated
playing against.
Yeah,
I did a thing with Ulster Hockey back in the start of lockdown. We talked about the best players of the last 20 years, and they talked about Barnesy and Hammers.
Yeah,
and sort of off camera, he said to the guys, like, actually, I struggled with Barnesy at the start as an 18-year-old. Now I think I got over it towards the end. I'm not saying Hammers wasn't a very good goal scorer because he scored 50 years and back to back, but the guys that like Barnesy scored from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Stevie Dowds
more
recently. He's not the he's bloody quick.
Yeah.
He could shoot both sides. He developed a drag flick.
Yeah. He was always in nipping and getting goals.
Eugene McGee. Eugene was probably I know he went to Europe for a while, but if he had hung around, he would have scored a lot more goals against Cookstown. Because he was probably better than the reverse.
He was high. I think he's the only guy that we ever said get him on the strong side.
Yeah. He had a drag flick. Like they won the European bronze with his flick against England that time. He had 3D skills. He had everything.
Yeah, he was impressive now.
But never went into a game going, oh crap, not him again.
Yeah.
Flickers wise, like German from Cork. Like whenever.
Do you remember the one he scored
down there? I do.
And I still don't know where it went. All I heard was tink tink.
Well, you obviously sent me the questions, and I was thinking, I don't know who to say, but that popped into my head.
That, just when you said German there, it just straight to mind. That flick was the quickest
It's the only, and I'm being sincere, it's the only ball that has been scored against me that I didn't see.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know where it
went. He moved. I heard the noise, the clink. You're right, and I turned around, and Ewan was like, he sort of like this, and we sort of had a wee smile at each other, going, "What was that?" So yeah, he was a phenomenal flicker.
Yeah.
The day, one of my happiest moments was the day we played them up there in my last year. Do you remember I saved the stroke?
Yeah.
In the second half, he stopped flicking. They had corners. He stopped flicking.
Right.
I was just like,
that's right. He started moving the ball.
I just thought, we have him. I remember saying to Cuddy after the game, I knew we were going to win that because once they stopped flicking, we would just, whatever happened.
Because I remember, was that when he moved to sort of the back, playing sweeper a bit.
He played at the back.
Yeah, because he started switching corners for deflections and different things. And I was like,
what are you doing? This guy's the best flicker that Ireland has ever seen, and you're getting him to pass it.
But then it goes back. It's time. Anytime we concede the corner, when you were in that season stuff, I was always quietly confident of I will keep this out. We had a good short corner defence for a while, because I was always calling the attacking ones, and I used to get riled. You used to call some bomber 2-2 or and I used to be like, boys, just score here. This is doing my hair.
Bombers undefeated, you know that?
Yeah, it was.
We ran it in the EHL against Amsterdam, and they didn't score that corner.
So the one that
ran it. What?
The one that hit Matt?
Maybe it was, you know.
Well, it didn't score that.
I don't think so. We ran it. It's just to get everyone out.
Yeah.
We ran it against Annandale, and they hit the post. I just got a tip and it hit the post and went out for a corner. Yeah. And Bessie turned around and was going, "You see the bomber!" Like celebrating and going. They were setting up for a long corner, and Bessie was facing me going, "You see the bomber?" I go, "Bessie,
turn."
Yeah. Crease on the ball.
You said there about Germans flicking stuff. One of the goals I put on Instagram earlier, podcast questions, and Bruce McCandless straight in, best goal you've ever conceded, ever scored against you, and I was just straight back to him. I was like,
"Oh, did you put on
Instagram for tonight?"
Okay, sorry, I didn't even see that.
Bruce came on and said, I should have on them. Bruce, are you on about that one you scored from the byline? Do you remember that? Down at Ban, slap hit.
I do. I think I do.
Straight off the angle.
I think.
No, that was. I think it was about 2 minutes into the game.
No, Bruce tries that every game. That's why I'm struggling to remember what it is.
That's the one to pay it off.
No, Band down there. Eugene scored one. Do you remember the day we went to? This is a personal one, folks. We went to Kilkenny.
Oh, after, yeah.
Do you remember Eugene stuck one off the stanchion?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So I think I remember the Bruce one, but honestly, he tries that a lot. So I can't decide.
I can remember it was straight off the angle. Another question that came up, it was Dan Crooks actually, and I had it down as one of the topics, and something that I've never ever said to you. I don't know why, but when you stepped down from the ones, I think you had 1, 2 or 3 player of the year. It was player of the year, and then you stepped down.
Yeah.
Why did you step down?
What did Megan and Harry say? That we didn't step down, we stepped aside.
Stepped aside, yeah. Or were you forced out?
I was forced out. I was being bullied. Combination of things. A real positive thing I thought was I didn't fall out with anyone. I didn't stop playing because I hated the player or I hated the coaches. I just done. You know actually how much it like to play just for your local club, first 11, but it's maybe 10 hours a week.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big commitment.
On a great guy, I was lucky enough to play in good teams, to win things. I was lucky enough to play at all the different age groups and levels. I'd sort of done everything.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a wee bit selfish. So I was like, right, well, that's it for me. Part of it as well was, I think I got player of the year that year. We get relegated. And I was like, right, well, I could have done more, but it's like, that's all I've got, and we still get relegated.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Now, what made it easier was the guys get put into the Ulster League, so I knew if, at the time in my head I was thinking McCabe was probably, I knew it would probably be the best year for him to start, although Towie came in.
Yeah, that's right.
And I knew also we had a good keeper in Josh coming.
Yeah.
So honestly, a combination of things. It wasn't one thing. It was probably just I'd done everything I wanted to do, and it was, if I was going to do it, that was the time to do it.
If we had stayed up, would you have stayed on?
Honestly, I don't think so. Maybe it wasn't the case of I don't want to play in the Ulster League.
Yeah.
Which some people, it wasn't that at all. It was, if I had stayed up, honestly, I don't think so.
I never knew. And then, do you ever regret it now? Do you think?
No,
I could have went on a bit.
I don't, and it's funny. At the time, people, during that year, people will say, "Do you miss it?" I'm going, not at all. What I did miss was just being a part of a group.
Yeah, and
even since school, you're in a team.
You've been in that group, and that, and you've that crack all through.
Like you and me aren't best friends, but like we still chat, and like you're still part of that.
Yeah.
Group. Like I met Matty the other day, and the first thing popped in my head was, I want an Irish Cup with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I haven't seen Matty in ages, and like I don't speak to him often at all. But went over and said hello to his kid and all. That was strange for me. The goalkeeping part didn't bother me.
Because people say,
like Greggy, see when you go after a session 3 times a week, see the stink in your arms and your legs, see the amount of scrubbing you have to do to get that smell off, and lugging that kid around, it was a breath of fresh air.
Because even people say to me, like I stepped down 2 years ago playing twos, loving it. Think I could still maybe do a bit for the ones. People say to me, would you not want to play at the highest level for as long as possible?
Yeah,
like
I understand that.
Like I look straight away, and that's AB. AB played at the highest level for as long as possible, and he can still do a job and more. And like, and every now and again, I'm like, oh, shit. But I go back to, like, I was selfish as well. I was like, I've won everything that I wanted to win. I'm happy. I haven't fell out with anybody. I'm happy enough. But
I do understand why it's strange to people, because like it's taken me 5 minutes to explain to you, but honestly in my head I was completely at peace with it. Yeah.
Because you were, at the same time of the year, you were getting better and better and better, and then it was just like, right, okay.
It probably didn't help. I think you just need something to motivate you.
Yeah.
I got into Irish stuff really late.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get into that Irish stuff till I was 25, 26, which is quite late for that stuff. Yeah. So that sort of kept me on, and I stopped that, and then I just slowly started to go, right, well, I've sort of done everything now. But no, as I say, it wasn't because of an Ulster League. It wasn't because, I hated the coaches or hated the players. The good thing it was, I'm still, I think, friends with everyone. Yeah. I'm sure people thought differently at the time. Went that tube.
No, I remember the boys just thinking, I wish he would stay on. But again, I was all selfish reasons of, I want him to stay on. You then you played outfield for a bit. Now, I played outfield a good few times for the varsity.
Oh, varsity, yeah, of course you did, yeah.
Because I remember saying to a few people, I'm going to the Irish varsities in Hamburg. And they're like, who else going now? Yuzi's going. Oh, is he doing that? No, Yuzi plays outfield for the Irish varsities. Like, you seem to enjoy playing outfield.
I do. It's obviously fun. Like it's a completely different sport.
Yeah,
it really
that's what I was looking at.
Essentially,
what's different? Like
it's a different sport. If you think about it, aerobically, it's completely different. The year I've obviously played outfield for loads of years, but the year I played a year solid, like there was muscles in my body going, "What is this?" Week in, week out. Like why am I? So it's a different sport. I just love trying to score goals. As much as I love trying to keep them out, which I love. Like we could get beat, 5-1, and because I scored the one, I went home happy.
You're happy.
That's totally not the way to be, but it's just I love scoring goals.
You had a good drag flick as well. That helped a lot.
I had an average drag flick against average keepers, Greggy.
Well, I remember you talk about scoring goals. What about your goal against Davy Hart?
You passed it to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
You assist.
I went down the byline.
So we were playing, was that Dublin Uni?
I was Dublin now.
At Jordanstown. And I remember saying to the guy, because I had sort of known in that stage, and I'm sure I maybe trained him. I must have trained him a few times. I remember saying to the guys, look, Davy's obviously a great keeper, but if you get close to him, just try and get it over him, because he comes out so quickly. And you'd passed it to me, and in my head was like, lift it, and this thing just looped over.
It was so calm, and away you went.
If I had a thought about it, I definitely would have messed it up. But it's just one of those ones where I just talk.
Because I was looking the 1-2, I getting her straight back,
and he came sliding out, and I went over the top of him. Now I've said it to him in the past, but his comeback is, we beat you 6-0 in our senior cup final that year.
That's a good comeback. You can't really say much to that.
That was a good goal, yeah.
And then you've been doing a good bit of coaching. Coached Armagh for 2 years?
4.
4?
Well,
4 years?
Including this past year, which obviously, but 4 years. 4 years. Yeah.
I didn't think that. That's crazy. You obviously enjoy the coaching side of it then?
Coaching it's a bit like playing. You enjoy winning, you don't enjoy losing.
No. Plus, anytime I do any sort of coaching, even young teams or something, it annoys me because you can't actually. You can impact a certain point, but I'm always like, I just feel like I want to get on, do something.
There's only a percentage you can actually get the team better or worse. But to me, it was really challenging because, like, it's the same sport, but there are differences in the men and the ladies game. Yeah. Like, if I was coach of the Cookstown first and we were being pressed high really all the time, you just go, Jack, chuck that to far the pitch, and you're out. You can't do that in senior one ladies. You've got to figure it out with people that may not be ready to figure it out yet. You know, so that's really hard, and it was the hardest thing I did, but it obviously helped me. I think as a coach, not just going to somewhere else, but going to a ladies team, like it's different. There's not one that's easier than another or better or worse. It's just so different.
I remember coaching with you. We did Ulster 16 girls in.
Was this in Holland? I was an under 15 team.
Under 15s, right? And remember the first game we played at Kampong, and me and you on the sideline. I had the clipboard and all. I thinking, right, here we go. Right, what can we do? Game started. Pass back. The girl chucked it. The girl picked it up. Reverse, like 1-0.
Like a 14-year-old girl just loved it, 50 metres.
Just 1-0 down, and I was just looking at the thing and thinking, I don't know what to do here. This is incredible.
And then they had a drag flicker. That she didn't score, but she flicked it so hard she injured the first runner. And the girls were just going, like, what is this?
Yeah, they've never seen this. That was a good experience.
Well, we beat Amsterdam.
We did beat Amsterdam.
We beat Amsterdam.
Yep.
In their own backyard.
We owed them one.
In their own backyard.
Do you ever see yourself coaching Cookstown at any point?
I did. And we get relegated.
Again?
I don't know. Now's not the best time to ask because I've just come out of coaching 4 years, and it was very rewarding but very challenging. So I don't. It's not the right time to ask me. I mean, I would love to help the club out as much as I can, but whether that's the role, I don't know. Doing that 4 years, I always had the greatest amount of respect for Hexie and Stevie and Jeff and whoever. But after that 4 years, I have a lot of respect for those boys.
It's a lot, especially like Stevie, the video he puts in and everything, preparation. Stevie's different level, puts a serious amount of work in. So, plans for next year then? If you're not coaching now?
No, as I said to you before, people keep asking me, what are you doing next year? And I'm going home. That's it, I'm going home. I generally have no plans. I'm gotta get work going again after COVID. I'm playing a bit of golf, which I'm enjoying. Just having the flexibility of not having to do something every Saturday or a Monday night or when. I just enjoy like my dad rang me or my cousin rang going, I'll go. Or, do you want to go? I'm free actually. I'll go play 9 holes. So I've done it for so long that there's something to kick in shortly that I need to do something here. I know it's coming, but I don't know when. But no, at the minute I generally no plans.
You'll get a call next year at some point that need a player away to a foe on a Friday night. That'll be you.
So somebody said to me, would you not play for over 35s? And I was like, I would, but you need to buy me £1,500 worth of kit to start. He's like, it's not just rocking up with a stick and shin guards. I'm like, do you know if your kit? is like, no, why would I have my kit? I've played in 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, that'd be good though. We were actually saying the other day, Cookstown would have a good over 35s team, a very good team. Yeah, that's frightening to think. No, good chatting. We'll call her quits there. We had one last question from Tomo. No, that's.
Did I know with this?
No.
No? Okay.
No, that's the usual. I'm interested to hear your answer again.
Tomo.
Now, we've been talking about this for about 15 years. Now, if Kelly Moon played Barcelona and had a 20 goal head start, who would win?
Where's it at?
It's at Musa.
It's at Musa. So obviously everyone still thinks Barcelona will win, right? But what you've got to remember is Killymoon are up there not to play football.
Looking up the park
because Barcelona would beat Killymoon in a football match, even at 20-0. Could Killymoon conceivably waste enough time, give away enough free kicks,
and not get boys sent off?
You're thinking, but 1v1, it wouldn't be 1v, it would 1v5, and then they'll have to switch it. Could Killymoon waste enough time that Barcelona wouldn't score 20 goals? I think it's possible.
You think it's possible?
I do.
Nah, I'd say Barca's beating them. 20 goals.
You know, when people, we've had this before, and people say, but they would look up the net and say, like some team beat some team 18-0 the other day. And I'm saying, yes, but that team that were beat 18 started with 0. They didn't start with a consistent lead. You know, when you've got a lead and you keep fighting, after 10-0, everyone goes, frig this. After 10-0, we're 10-0 up.
This is just a question that has been talked about for hours and hours in this clubhouse. Even when I read it today, I sat in work thinking, could it be done?
I could. Like it could be done in hockey. It's too easy to score.
Yeah.
I think you could do it in football.
So we'll finish it there.
Hold on. The question was asked. I was on a stag do, and it was asked, and we were all discussing it, and Rio came over, Collie's brother, and they were like, Rio, come here, what's that? Because Rio was playing at the time for Killymoon. Rio, Killymoon have a 20 goal head start against Barcelona. Who wins? Rio goes, what sort of side do I have it? As if like,
is any boys missing?
He's missing nothing.
Was anybody out the night before?
As if, you know, who was not there this week? I might not be able to do it.
That's the mentality of us, just. Right, well, done. Good chatting to you, and we'll finish there, and hopefully we'll get a couple more up in the podcast next. We'll get a few guests. Shout out to Linda Black. I'm trying to get her on, but she's having none of it, so we'll keep at her. So, right, thank you very much. Goodbye. Not these. That was funny. That was good.
I never tell you that one with Rio.
I still was.
Do you ever hear that one? No. I swear to God, he's just like, what sort of side do I have out?